back at it again. I'm in California for the week. I don't go back home until this Sunday. I got me a wonderful Toro watermelon smoothie. I didn't even you see that this little top right here, it was a little bit there. I took a sip of that. I was like, hold up. Yo, this is gonna be good. This is as good as this conversation. Yo, watermelon and Toro together, fam. You gotta try it. I don't even know what Toro looks like by itself. I'm about to look it up. Because why not, right? For those who don't know who I am, my name is Jared Cinco. I am an opportunistic thinker, artist, person, being. I think of the most positive outcomes in all aspects of life. And while thinking of the most positive outcomes, I also embrace the fact that the most negative things could possibly happen. But I don't allow my mind nor my emotions lead to that direction. And my purpose within this life and many other lives, that's what Toro looks like? I didn't know Toro looked like that. That's interesting. My intention for the YouTube lives I'll be doing is to express the things that I've learned, that I've understood in my life, in my experience, and how the things that I've learned is important to share with the world, not just for myself, and important to document the things I've learned so that not only myself, but my future generation and even my generation and the past generation can look back at it and look at it as a reference of wisdom, a reference for a lesson. There could be many things that I say that allow somebody to find alignment in the things they desire, or find alignment in being a better version of themselves. I'm not going to be live for too long because my phone is not on a higher percentage, but the amount of time that I do talk, I know it'll be valuable. So the title of this live is called Emotions Equal Energy and Motion, which then equals Memories Unfolding. If you've ever had somebody that you had interactions with, whether it's platonic or intimate, in that relationship, they made you feel a certain emotion that led to a memory. An example of this, in my own personal life, me and my close friend Dre, we dance a lot together. And when we dance, it gives off a certain emotion, to where that emotion is so gratifying that it creates a memory. And then that memory is then held inside of my heart, inside of my spirit, inside of my soul, inside of my mind, that I can access that memory at any time because I remember how I felt. Right now in this time, a lot of social media platforms are now transitioning from strictly entertainment to more influential, to more spiritual sides of thinking. And I talked to somebody in my recent video, if you want to check that out. And in my recent video, I talked about, the title was, I figured out the real opposition to humanity. And in that video, if you look at the live chat, it was someone named Jordell, and he was expressing how a lot of people are tapping into this, and it's like a cycle that's continuing to repeat itself when it comes to certain social media people and just certain social things with the planet. And I agree with him, because a lot of times things recycle because there's a certain system or agenda that leads to the same outcomes every time. Well, This is why I'm making this video. So, through my existence, I've always desired something different. I've always desired to go in a different direction than others. Like, for example, something as simple as this. If me, my mom, and my brothers go grocery shopping and we always got French toast, not French toast, what's it called? Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Frosted Flakes. I was like, let's switch it up. Let's get Cookie Crisp and Fruity Pebbles, and so on and so forth. I was the type to always take a different direction than those that were around me because I desired to set a different paradigm than the norm. Because the norm is usually cycled in and cycled out. If you're watching this live right now, please leave a like so I can grow in the algorithm of YouTube. I've been going live a lot more consistently, which has allowed my following, which has also allowed my views to go up. So if you're here right now, whether you're in the future or in the present, please like the video. So to continue, we all embrace the artists of Tupac and Biggie Smalls. Tupac and Biggie are legends because of the emotional status they put onto people. Peace, Father Hughes. Peace to you. Tupac and Biggie left such a huge imprint onto the world that people still listen to their music 20 years later. The Beatles left such an imprint on the world, people still listen to them 20 to 30 to 40 years later. Michael Jackson, Ice Cube, all of these people gave something to the world for them to feel like they can connect to them, which has then generated a memory where their existence has created something worth establishing themselves with. So here's the cycle that I feel the world has been going through right now. Just like how there's 4 seasons in the world, and with each season there are sub levels or subdivisions of each season. The universe also has the same philosophy. The universe goes through 4 seasons. It is destruction, transformation, I'm trying to remember right now because I used to have it. When I was working at FedEx a couple weeks ago, me and the universe was getting real deep, and I'm bringing that memory back to the present moment because of how it made me feel at that time. So the universe goes through 4 cycles. It's transformation, it's elevation, then it's, what's the word that what it was? I can't think of the word, so I'm gonna use this. This is the first thing that came to mind. Sustainability, or sustaining itself. And then the last one is decay. I think I got it now. The universe decays, the universe transforms, the universe builds up, and then it destroys itself again. So to put it in more of an understanding complex, I'm kind of jumping around trying to figure out how exactly it was told to me. The universe starts building itself. Then it sustained what it has built. When it has sustained what it has built, it goes through a system of decaying, meaning things are falling apart. Things are starting to decrease its creativity, its sustainability. And as it started to decrease, it transforms itself. So let me be more clear. The universe builds, sustains, decays, and transforms. Builds, sustains, decays, and then transforms. You know, I figured out the position we are in the world right now. This entire earth is transforming. I mean this in no disrespectful way. You got people trying to transform their gender. You got people transforming their music, meaning the message they put in the music. You got people transforming how they view financial stability. You got people transforming how they view emotional, just emotions itself. And you got people transforming how they view the idea of having an outside of the box thought process. An outside of the box thought process means, like, you see me sitting here right where this gate is in front of a brick that's behind me. But if I was to think outside the box, this curve is only holding me up just so I can give y'all what y'all need and allow self to express what it is that the universe needs, which also in turn is returning to self what I need so I can continue to express this message. That's thinking outside the box. Because literally you can't see what I'm sitting on. You're looking at me through a box, which is this screen. So that's something to think about. So look, like I said, this live is not going to be long. It's probably going to be only like 30 minutes. So someone asks, Picasso asks, what books do I be reading? I honestly don't read enough. The most recent book I read was my own journal. And in my own journal, I simply was organizing it because I felt that it was time that I get into a more disciplined, organized state of self. Because listen, I have a brand named Elevation. And in this brand, my goal is to simply express to the people, express to the world that no matter how high or low world your life may be at the moment, it is going to be a time where that low time in your life was actually what you needed to get to the highest point of view. There's going to be a time in your life where you felt so high, but then when you detach from that version of yourself or observe that version of you from the outside in, you will then realize, like, damn, that was just me running away from something by trying to enjoy life or enjoy this certain action as much as possible. For instance, a lot of people smoke weed, a lot of people do tabs, a lot of people take drugs, a lot of people do a lot of these other things so that they can escape a version of themselves. And this version of themselves may be the version of them that may be toxic, that may be destructive, that may be simply disrupting where they desire to go. And here's what I've came to the conclusion of. I said in my last live that humanity is a superpower in itself. If you're a human, you have powers, whether you want to believe it or not. And your power is your ability to feel, your ability to protect, and your ability to think. These three things, this trinity of you, is so powerful that you have gods and goddesses, demons and angels wanting to take your place. Why do I believe that is true? Because there wouldn't be such a huge influence on one religion, one belief system that wants to have you project all of your power onto it without embracing the power that's inside of you. Someone had said in a video the other day, no, today actually, they said they don't, when they receive praise from someone, their affirmation that they say is all glory to God. And I can accept that if I was to use it myself, but you got to understand the duality of what you're saying. Because for me, when I say God, I'm speaking on the universe. Because God can be androgynous, meaning masculine and feminine to the highest degree. A lot of people, when they speak on God, they speak on He. And even in certain conversations, even I speak on He because I am a masculine manifestation of the universe. So when I say God, it's like I'm speaking to my highest self. When I say God is, I'm speaking to my highest feminine self. So not only does women have more power than men, and men have more of the ability to create and dominate more than women, there is one thing that both men and women have that is equally as powerful and equally as important, and that is their humanity. Emotions come in rays of hues. My bad. Emotions come in rays of hues. That's why we're humans. Our hues of light directly reflects our memories. Did you know that sometimes your memories can be altered just because of how you feel about it, when that's probably not even the truth? However, your emotions want to cloud the truth, so you only just focused on the lie? That's some shit, isn't it? Your memories could be altered simply because of how you felt about that memory, that you decided to alter it, or the energies inside of you decided to alter it so that you don't see the truth. Then you're just living on a lie. What happens if you have a society that is living on lies based on them not able to understand their emotions? You have people that is easily controlled. You have people that is easily manipulated into whatever the agenda is that somebody's projecting. The reason why the world is in the direction of spirituality, emotional intelligence, and mental stability is because the world is transforming. And here's the beauty about this transformation. We decide how this transformation goes. I'm not saying we control everything, but we can control ourselves. Meaning, we can control how we respond to our emotions. We can control how we desire to take the actions that lead to what we want. We can control the thought process, or sorry, I should say this. We can control how we use our mind. Because guess what? If you know how to control your mind, your body is just gonna catch up. If you know how to control your mind, your body is just gonna catch up. An example of this is Neo in the Matrix. Instead of him looking at the Matrix from a human perspective, he looked at it from a universal perspective. He let go of his attachment to the physical reality and decided to use his human understanding, his human capabilities, his duality of his light and darkness to manifest being the one. There is a reason why humans are the most dominant forces of this world. And there's a reason why there's such a beauty in being a human. There's even a reason why people always talk about reincarnation. Because being a human means you get to experience the highs, literally the highs, and the lowest of lows in the universe. When you experience the worst depression in your life, you was not alone. There was a universe experiencing that with you, a galaxy experiencing that with you. There was a god and a goddess experiencing that same emotion with you. There is demons and angels experiencing that same depression with you. And it's the same thing when you high. However, you need to understand this. It doesn't matter how high or how low you are. The best thing to do in any situation is be present. Be present as much as possible. Because when you are present in the moment, when you're present in self, that means you can see everything and love faithfully. Seeing everything and loving faithfully allows you to see the truth and love everything. Love faithfully doesn't mean blind love. Love faithfully doesn't mean I'm gonna let God take care of it. Love faithfully means embrace both sides of the coin. Embrace both sides of you. For instance, I'm a super peaceful person. I'm a super optimistic person, like I said in the beginning of this live. However, as I was rising into this position as a man, as a soul, as a God, I also understood that I had to first understand what it means to be pessimistic before I became optimistic. You have to experience the polar opposite of what you truly desire to be so that you can understand the polarization of you. Everybody wants money, but you have to embrace what it's like to feel broke and not get upset that you broke. Every businessman wants to have a successful business, but you gotta accept when your business ain't moving, but not allowing that moment of it not moving, meaning that's how it's gonna be forever. Life does go fast. Things can happen in a split second. But imagine if you are able to embrace each split second, whether it is high or low. That means you're able to embrace what it means to be in a state where you are happy, joyful, peaceful, great, successful, all of that, while also being able to embrace and be happy when you are feeling sad, when you're angry, when you're confused, when you're feeling inadequate. It may suck, but shit. Life sucks you into this reality, didn't it? We was in our mom's womb, but then we got sucked into this world. Some of us cried when we got here. Some of us didn't. I'm one of those people. My mom had told me when I was born, I didn't even cry when I got here. That's surprising to me because everyone, every story, every movie, whatever you want, when there's a baby born, that baby crying. That makes me question if I wasn't crying when I got here. That means I knew and I embraced what it means to be sucked into something that either I chose to be in or I didn't choose to be in. I feel like I chose to be here because, shit, I'm still here. I could have died at least 3 times already. And if you're watching this, you probably could have too. But you're here in this moment because you survived your worst days. If you survived your worst days, you deserve some praise, right? I'm not saying don't take all your glory away from whatever religion you want to believe in, but give you some praise. You deserve it too. Just as much as we all want to go to church and people want to get more in tune with God and stuff like that, you need to also get in tune with you. Getting in tune with you, yes, in its same essence as getting in tune with God in the universe. But without you, meaning your own universe, without you embracing you, you will never be part of your truth. You will only continue to live in the lies. And it's so fucked up that a lot of people are so comfortable with the lies that they don't even understand how the truth really is. And even on the flip side of that coin, the truth is given in multiple different perspectives. Like, for instance, no one knew that cars was going to be electric until the electric car came out. If somebody would have brought up the conversation of an electric car, they'd be like, I mean, that's cool, but I'd rather keep my car with the gas. That just sounds smoother. It sounds more easier to obtain and all of that. But the true fact is, any vehicle that has a wheel, that has a transmission, that has an engine, can drive. Any vehicle, and that's the truth. Just like there is always a truth, or there is also a truth that every religion tells the truth in different formats and different perspectives. It's all about which perspective do you want to decide to align yourselves with. And you got to understand who wrote these passages, who wrote these stories. Some of these stories were from a perspective of, I won and I did everything. Some stories are from the perspective of, man, I don't fuck with bro like that, so I'm gonna write this story just to show how much I don't fuck with it. Some stories can be like, I like how they live and I like how I live, so I'm gonna create a story that represents a manifestation of how we both can live together. So many things are a possibility if you open yourselves up to that possibility. I've learned in my existence that I don't care what anyone believes in. My question is, what is your relationship with yourself? Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all, because this is what my channel is also about, just being honest and being real. One of my biggest things is overcoming the sexual desire of just getting down and getting busy. But I don't go out searching for women just to do that. And the funny thing is, whenever I catch myself slowly getting into that vibration where I used to be when I was younger, I start to recognize, like, damn, I was going backwards. This is my time to center up and get back right and move forward. To where my light isn't being projected into a space that isn't accepting of it. It's this movie called The Never Ending Story, and I feel like you should go watch it if you're here. The Never Ending Story. It came out in 1984. It's a very old movie, and the graphics may not be 1,000% great, but the storyline behind it is beautiful. Humanity is always battling against emptiness. And those who are empty means they can be filled by anything. But those who fill themselves up can be willing to give into others. So I'm gonna end this live off with this, because I ain't gonna lie, I want another cookie. I ate a chocolate chip cookie before I started. I might get a peanut butter. I don't want that. I'm gonna end the live off with this. If you feel empty, what can you do to fill yourself up? That's question number one. If you are the one that is filling your life up with the things that you desire, with the characteristics that make you feel valuable, if you are filling yourself up with this, how can you give that back to other people? Because we all know the term, all the power going into one being is not healthy. If you got all the power in the world, that shit is gonna eat you alive, just like a black hole. But if you know how to share your gifts, if you know how to teach others what you've learned in your story, in your testimony, it'd be really, really appreciative. So that's it, y'all. I love you. If you've been here, like the video, subscribe to the channel. More content coming out soon. I love y'all. Peace and blessings. Yeah.